got stagnant. I think we ran out of gas. We got tired for sure. We kind of stopped cutting. Ball dried up. A lot of holding. The obvious things that you saw. So, and then that was basically it. So.
What did you just think of the fight that you guys did show the first three quarters?
Yeah, we fought all the way through the end of overtime. It wasn't just the first three quarters. We just didn't play good offense. We kept fighting. It's what we've done for a lot of the season, other than the first part of the season. We struggled to find ourselves, but right now we got a crew that really plays hard. Give ourselves a chance to win. We should have won this game. All credit to them. They did a good job of making enough plays and getting the easy buckets when they needed it.
Do you think it was like the fatigue that was the primary factor of just slowing things down?
I think some of it was, and their physicality probably slowed us down a little bit too. And we played a lot of guys heavy minutes. Went through a super short rotation. Maybe I could have mixed in some bench there, just to keep guys a little bit fresh. But yeah, no, I tried to ride it.
But Ian got banged up a little bit. He came back out with his shoulder taped up.
Yeah, I think at one time, I don't know about the shoulder. At one time it was cramping, So that was what was told to me on the bench. But I don't know.
What made it difficult for him, do you think, to get into rhythm even early?
Well, they trapped him. They put two on him. When he did drive and he drew out a crowd and kicked, it was really good for us. He didn't get anything easy. He didn't get to the free throw line much at all. So.
Mike Conley made a number of big plays for you guys down the stretch. The free throws, gets the steal. Just what did he bring for you guys tonight?
Yeah, this Mike, he's a winning player. Makes big time plays. He's got composure. Nothing rattles him. So it's just super smart. It's a luxury to have him.
It's pretty incredible first three quarters from Karl until the foul trouble kicked in there. What did you see when that was there? And then what was he fighting against the foul trouble with caution in the fourth, or why did you think that went away?
Well, he was in a heck of a rhythm until they whistled him to the bench. So I think that that was tough. And then we just never really had an offensive rhythm anywhere. So we played a really good game. So.
What would have been the way to inject more offense in there in the fourth and overtime?
Yeah, body movement, ball movement. I just same thing we talked about in the beginning. Just past, we just got static, and they switched a lot of things, and we didn't go quick enough. We didn't go with enough force, and we needed to get to the free throw line or something like that, or we missed a couple bunnies too, and a couple turnovers as well. But yeah, not supposed to sit here and talk about the free throw differential, but that was also big.
You mentioned the shortened rotation. It seemed like Nikhil off the bench was a real stabilizer.
Yeah.
From you guys. What did you?
Yeah, he was really, really good, man. He was good. I probably should have played him a little bit more down the stretch, just kind of keep the troops a little fresher. I really liked how he played. But I also, kind of liked our matchups too out there, and was trying to maintain that, So.
Chris, do you think like some of the foul discrepancy was offense not really moving and forcing the pressure on?
I don't know, man. Like, thought they were fouling us up the floor a lot. We never really got to the bonus except for I think in the second quarter. So I don't know, man. You saw it. I mean, the first three free throws we shot were at the end of regulation in the second half. It was 17-3, I believe, something like that. So it was tough. We got to force that action and get to the rim and get to the free throw line more. Okay, thank you.
How was battle? Just seemed like what made it difficult to get offense going in the fourth quarter there. Game kind of.
Yeah. Give them credit. First off, they did a good job of changing up their defensive scheme. They got to switching, 1 through 5, and made it tough on us to get, the ball to Cat in positions where he could be effective, and and Ant, didn't have a great rhythm, and it forces it to taking some tough shots, and more, the ball kind of stuck a little bit more than it had in the first, 3 quarters, and but at the end of the day, I was proud of the way that we, showed, that heart going down the stretch all the way through the game, through adversity. This team is built to handle that, and we have a deep team. A lot of guys came out tonight and performed at a very high level, but we got to learn from it. We got to get better at the last 6-7 minutes of the game, which I think we got a couple of days to do.
Was that, I mean, just considering everything that you guys have been through, and how shorthanded you were to play that way, I guess, even through the first 3 quarters, and really be in a position, you take some confidence coming out of that.
A little bit. We expected to be, to win the game. We didn't come in to think that, we just want to play tight and give ourselves a chance. Like, no, we thought we could win the game from, the first jump ball. So it's disappointing to lose. We felt like we got a lead and let it slip, and, this should be, a different post-game speech, So that's frustrating, but, we'll learn from it and get ready for Friday. Honestly, before I took my first shot, I thought, like, man, I'm glad it's me, and nobody else, because I'd rather, if I make or miss them, I'd rather be, the guy in control, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it if I was watching somebody else shoot those 3, as a bystander. But, after the first one went in, it felt, it kind of calmed me down a little bit, and took a couple deep breaths and locked in on the next 2.
What do you think you guys might be able to do to counter switching lineups like that maybe give you some trouble the last couple of weeks?
It's interesting. We had this same, kind of issue in Utah a few years ago in the playoffs, and even throughout the year. And we had to, be at 2 different teams. When a switching team comes to us, we had to, play with the pass more. We had to cut more. We had to, slip screens more and play with a different pace than so when they, are in different coverages. So I think that's what we have to learn. I think the next couple of days, I'll get with Coach. Coach, we always talk about stuff all the time, and it might be something that we look at, just try to create more movement, slip opportunities, bounce passes, get in the paint, because if we can break the paint, guys are good enough to make the plays to the corner and get guys closing out. That's where we're really good at that.
Finch was guys might have been gassed lately in that perspective. Did you feel it? Did you feel it from the team that maybe fatigue was setting in as well?
A little bit, but I wasn't gonna lead with that at all. We don't make excuses at all, but both teams played. Had guys, playing 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So they just made the plays at the end. We just got to be mentally and physically more engaged late. When our bodies get tired, we have to be double down on the details, and we just kind of lost it there.
Like when the offense does get sticky like that, is it more about player and ball movement, or is it more about structure to get it unsticky?
I think the structure helps, because I think it allows guys to then make the hard cut, because they know they have the space to cut. They know where the guys are on the the weak side, or you just have a set that feels comfortable. And I think that, like I said, we can get to that point. I think we just gotta use these next couple of days to really lock in on that. Like, not worry about the 3 quarters of offense that we had where we run and push and guys are getting open and stuff like that, but really lock in on those last 5-6 minutes of switching, and how can we attack it? How can we, get Cat rolling down the lane more and get, Ant downhill, where he's, basically unstoppable. So, it's a little bit of both, but I think we'll figure it out.
Ask about Ant, because he has the big fall and comes back, doesn't really look like himself. Before that happened too, it seemed like you guys are struggling to get him going downhill. And I'm wondering what role you think Rudy not being there played in that. He's often somebody who really sets those screens and opens it up for him. Did that feel like a factor here?
We for sure miss Rudy. Rudy's a unique player. He brings a gravity to the game that not many players can do. When we drive to the middle of the paint and he's rolling, he's taking two guys with him. He's taking two guys to box him out, on offensive rebounds. He's taking multiple people with him no matter what. So that I think it opens up a lot more for guys. He sets great screens. He gets people off of you. And, that's stuff that we missed tonight. And, obviously with Cat in foul trouble, having a guy like Rudy to be able to guard and, muck up the game as well would have been huge.
Like, were you in a good rhythm? Did you feel like, just shots falling, and especially early on, and just getting good looks and knocking those down?
No, I felt great. I'm, just shooting the ball when I get the opportunities and, being aggressive when I need to. And, like I said, part of that was Ant being willing to get off the ball, Cat being willing to get off the ball. I told them both, like, if y'all continue to develop that, we'll win. We'll win this. We'll win tonight. We'll win, Friday. We'll win a lot of these games with you guys being willing to trust, the guys around you and hopefully opening it up for you later.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You guys were in great shape for 3 quarters there, and it just seemed like it was really hard to get any offense going in the fourth and overtime. What changed and what made it hard to kind of get that going?
I got to look at the tape, but we got things we got to just work on as a team, and we're all together and we're connected. Obviously everyone disappointed, but we love the fight, and it's not much I can say right now without looking at the tape. I got to just watch it.
How do you feel? Yeah, just how do you feel in general about the way that the game went outside of the loss, and just the way that you guys battled, but maybe just also disappointed in not being able to close it out?
I mean, like you said, it's disappointing. You think, I feel like we put a lot of effort in. I thought we fought. We were very scrappy. I thought we did a lot of great things. And, it's difficult when you leave without a win and you feel you played good enough to win,
Karl, did the foul trouble knock you out of an offensive rhythm there in the fourth quarter?
The game just, give them credit. They from what I could see without watching tape, they changed their game plan and was effective. And I don't know. Like I said, I got to watch the tape.
Mike suggested that switching lineups had given you guys some difficulty in the way that they switched down the stretch. Did that make it harder to get the ball maybe where you wanted it, or?
I think the 5 fouls hurt more than the switching lineup. I think that.
Carl, what is that like mentally when you have 5 fouls in the fourth quarter, knowing that maybe you need to sacrifice some things to make sure to not pick up that 6 foul? What's the balance there?
I mean, it's simple. Like, I think throughout the game, I was really doing a great job attacking the rim, really being powerful, getting to the rim, doing whatever I do. And, when you get 2 fouls off of flops, it makes it very difficult to want to, with 5 fouls, to do something like that. I want to put my team in a bad position where I make an aggressive move, they flop, they get the call, and then I'm out the game. Like I said, like the game played out. You never know what's going to happen. So never knew. 3 free throws by Mike with .1. Who would have thought that? We go to overtime. Good thing. I didn't get that 6 whistle. So I think the fouls hurt a lot because like you said, mentally, it just. You don't want to hurt your team, you want to be out there, you can impact the game, and you just don't want to have a flop happen, don't even have to get hit just to get a call, so it changes the dynamic.
Kind of seems like, particularly tonight, but kind of throughout the season, it's kind of like when it rains, it pours offensively for you guys, or it dries up. What do you think goes into that in general?
I mean, I've been on the sideline just watching. It's just, like you said, when it rains, it pours. We haven't done the best job of stopping the bleeding when teams are getting hot. So it hurt us a little bit tonight. So, we did a great job building a lead. We did a great job protecting it in the third, getting into the fourth with it. Just got to watch the tape. Like you said, I mean, simple as it's obvious. We got to do a better job of protecting the lead and taking those leads we get and utilizing them to win, especially on a night like this.
Karl, you were playing so well in those first three quarters. Do you feel like the last game too, like it's coming back for you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling great. I did some great athletic moves that, early on. I don't think my calf when I came back was allowing me to do. So, also my legs, having better cardio, helps a lot. I've been working tremendously hard on that to get back to that form. So, I felt great. Most of the game. Like I said, fourth I got in foul trouble, came in a little late in the game. I saw them, like they switched, but just seeing the double teams come, understanding what 5 fouls, just making the right play. I thought I made some good passes. I have to watch the tape, but I thought I made the right plays. It wasn't for me to shoot. Mike Conley was in the right wing. We had a good shot. TP cuts to the basket, makes a backdoor cut. Like, I felt like I made the right plays. Obviously I was scoring at a high rate, very efficient from what I see on the paper, but being aggressive doesn't mean I have to shoot it. I got people in great spots, great shots. We just, they just didn't fall. It happens. I think I took 2 shots that were kind of. I don't remember what the shots I took in the fourth, but I thought I took some really good. Like they were a little aggressive. Kind of. I feel like they were trying to get rhythm shots. Step back 2. I wouldn't have taken that with 5. If I didn't have 5, I would have probably got to the basket. And 3, but I know I scored really well. I thought that the aggression allowed me to make plays for my teammates, and we just didn't make the shots. It's okay, it happens. But making the right play allowed us to have some defensive balance going back, and I feel without watching the tape, the stat sheet shows that with 19 points in the fourth quarter by them, but we also had 12. So maybe I could have done some other things and stuff like that, But I'll look at the tape tonight and figure out what I could do better for Friday. Yeah, appreciate it.
Been able to stick with the game and find a way to gut it out and win. Either with slow starts or not finishing the game off how we would like to, but just always trying to find a way. And tonight was another instance of that versus a very, very, very good team.
LeBron, did you guys as a group have to kind of reset mentally going into overtime after the swing of Schroeder hitting the shot and then Conley getting fouled?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And what was said or what was done to get?
No, I mean, we discussed it on the bench. The play was between me and AD. We discussed it on the bench, and then, we move forward. I mean, because we still got 5 more minutes to play, so, that's how we started overtime. I mean, we outscored them in OT 10-4, so we was able to, recalibrate, get our game back, and then go on. I think we scored the first 5 points of overtime, and, it was good for us.
Obviously, it wasn't the prettiest of games. Do you think there's anything to glean about how this could reflect what you look like in the first round, or is it separate, and can you turn the page going into the Memphis?
I mean, well, this was definitely a playoff game, playoff atmosphere, playoff intensity. The refs allowed us to play. It felt like the playoffs, so it's good to get into the playoff feel of the game. But obviously, it's a different matchup that we have coming this weekend with Memphis, and we'll take our day off tomorrow and get our minds right and get our bodies whatever, and watch the playing games tomorrow, and then start to lock in on our opponent on Thursday as a group, and go from there and see how we match up with this team.
LeBron, there was a moment in the overtime where you were bent over, and Dennis came over, I think, rubbed you on the head. I don't know if you like it touching your hair or not, but there was also, then AD came over. Was that a moment where all of you guys, just giving all you had, and you had it just to collect yourself?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's playoff intensified out there, and, you down for loose balls, you're taking charges, you running guys off the line, trying to keep a body in front of them. You rebound, you assisting, you giving, you basically just taking the gas tank down to E and then trying to refuel as much as you can, see if it's a reserve tank. So, definitely, when you got guys that's, doing the same thing, taking it down to E, that it gives you motivation also to just to get up and you'll get energy after the game, and but you can always find a way to make one more play or one more steal or one more block out, one more rebound, or and get one more stop, and that's what we did in overtime.
LeBron, I know you said you're going to lock into things more on Thursday, but what are your early thoughts on the matchup with Memphis and just kind of?
Really, just really good team, very well coached, very well balanced. Obviously, the head of the snake is John Morant, but another All-Star in Jaren Jackson, who was up there, won a Defensive Player of the Year. His ability to block shots, but offensively, he's very dynamic as well. Tyus Jones, the point guard off the bench, has led the league in the assist-to-turnover ratio like the last 6 years. So he complements them very well. Desmond Bane, I think in his second or third year, but he plays like a veteran. His ability to shoot the ball from the three-point line is also his ability to, attack an early transition. Dylan Brooks, an opportunity to go out there and you can't disrespect him because he makes shots and Xavier Tillman has been playing good basketball. Obviously, he's been well coached all the way from college days, with Coach Izzo, to now, and so on and so on. They got Luke Kennard, who broke my scoring record in high school. He passed me in high school, and there's a reason why, because he's a laser from the three-point line. His ability to shoot the ball, is uncanny. And they got so many other guys also off the bench that you can't disrespect because they will make you pay. Obviously, I haven't thought about Memphis one minute.
Last three, we'll go Malika, then we'll go Kurt, and then we'll end with Tim Parker.
LeBron, you said that really you just wanted a chance, right? A shot at getting to where you are now. But we've yet to see in, the third official year of the play-in, a team who was in the play-in go and really make noise in a first-round series. Do you think that's just a matter of seeding? Is that a matter of something getting taken out of those teams in the play-in? How do you kind of look at that, and how can you do that differently this year?
I don't know. Obviously, I'm never been a big fan of the play-in. I said that when it first started. I'm still not a big fan of it, but it is what it is, and we took care of business and we advanced. But I think with our ball club, it's all about. We're still a relatively young group put together since the break, but over the last few years, there's always been availability for our ball club and how we can be on the floor and how we can continue to get that game experience on the floor. So. Over the last few weeks since I've been back, or the last couple weeks since I've been back, we had an opportunity. We had a couple guys out. Diaz missed the last 2 games. D'Lo missed a couple games, but for the most part, we've been relatively healthy, and that helps. That helps, but we see what happens. In this first round series, and we go from there.
LeBron, you talked about not being a fan of the play-in. You're down 15, and then all of a sudden you guys make that run. This could have got away. You could be playing Friday. Can you speak what happened in that short window where you guys got right back into it?
I'm not a big fan of it. We could have been playing Friday if we don't win tonight, or if it was how it was before, we would be the 7th seed and we don't have to worry about it. So we're already in the playoffs. But like I said, it is what it is. I think it's been good for the fans, I believe. I think that's what it was about. The fans and the fans definitely, they support us, and we wouldn't be who we are as players without those guys and their support. So, but we are a scrappy team, and listen, at the end of the day, it's a 48-minute game, and you have to, no matter where you up or down or whatever in the third quarter. I think we were down 53-68 at one point. Like you said, we was down 15, and we know we're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So. That's where we hang our hats. And in order for us to get back into the games, we got to hang our hats on what we're great at, and that's on the defensive side, and we did that.
LeBron, considering the way this season started and all the injuries and everything that happened just for you guys to get in, and at this stage of your career, what would a championship run mean to you?
That's the only reason I play still, is to try to put myself in a position to make championship runs and give teammates that have never been a part of a championship run something they haven't experienced before. So, it has not changed for me over the last, I would say, since about 2006, 2007. That's just been my mindset every year on how can I make a championship run. And I've been successful in 4 of those. I've been able to not only make a championship run, but also execute it and actually make it happen. But I've been on a lot of championship runs for a while, and I want to continue that. And hopefully, this year is another one of those instances.
Is it more challenging this year?
Every year, I mean, it's tough. There's too many great teams, too many great players. Every year is tough, no matter if you're the 1 seed or the 8 seed. Every single year is tough. Appreciate it.
AD, you won a title with this team. You played in a playing game here. You played in a playoff series here, but never with a full crowd, never with, I guess, sort of the full quote-unquote Laker environment. Did it feel special today to have that kind of intensity, that kind of game? Is this sort of what you expected, I guess, when you decided you wanted to come here?
Yeah. The crowd definitely got us back into it, with our play, having a crowd behind us. It was fun, the energy was there. This is what you dream about, playing in crypto. And, I know. Yeah, it's a new dream. Playing in crypto and just allowing, the crowd kind of, do their thing and get the other team rattled and kind of give us a little bit more energy to go on runs and make big plays. So it was electric tonight, and I can't wait until we come back home, have our 2 home games. Whenever them days are, and I know it's going to be even louder.
So, AD, you fouled Conley on the last play of regulation. Just walk us through what you were thinking when you closed out after the foul was called, any conversations you had with your teammates, and how, as a group, you guys were able to turn the page and come out fresh. I think outscored them 10-4 in overtime.
Cat was setting a flare screen on Mike, and I told Brian Red I didn't honor the call. I told him switch, but I didn't think he heard me, and I didn't want Cat to kind of slip in front of his face. But I got to know who also I'm playing with, who I'm talking to is Brian, he knows. And then Mike called it deep corner and was going out of bounds. And I actually jumped to not foul him, but he kind of went with me and got a foul. So, after it happened, me and Brian discussed. We watched it. Obviously, I told him my bad. I told the team, my fault. And it just goes back to our next play mentality that Coach always talk about and we talk about as a team. To whatever happened. Go finish this last 5 minutes and get a win, and that's kind of what we did. Didn't worry about it, and I'm always the first one to own up to my mistakes. I think the biggest thing though is kind of just messed up Dennis' game winner. So that kind of he got on me about that, but it always sucks when you lose. So it kind of don't hurt as bad.
AD, you guys finally know your first-round opponent. What are your early thoughts on the matchup with Memphis?
Yeah, good team, young, scrappy. Obviously Ja had a snake. Jaren Jackson. Obviously they have guys that's not going to be playing. Guys out, Steven, Brandon Clark. But they're still a good team. I mean, they're third for a reason. Even without Ja, they were winning basketball games. So they're a tough team. We'll do, our normal scouts and prep work for them. But it's going to be a fun, interesting series.
AD, teams are been pretty aggressive with you defensively, a lot of traps, a lot of doubles. Just wondering what the ongoing conversation is with you, your teammates on the floor, the coaches about kind of best ways to get you the ball, where to, how to, even when the double's coming. How does that discussion go for you, and where do you want that to be in the first round series?
Yeah, there's a lot of pick and rolls. I think in our matchups with Memphis, though, they didn't double. It's usually Steven Adams, he guards me, and then Xavier Tillman, he kind of guarded me straight up. So I'm not sure what their plan is. I didn't see many double teams against Memphis. But, yeah, teams starting to do that, to try to double team, get the ball out of my hand, make guys beat us. And, we're doing a good job making shots to kind of open it up, go into some wide action where you can't double, come off a pin down or play some pick and roll, where we got guys cutting and moving. Now guys are moving, and I'll catch it on a run and have space to operate, or catching at the top of the floor and just operating. So, or go obviously rebound, and score that way. So I'm just trying to find ways to be a part of the game, be productive, and whatever I got to do to help the team win.
AD, on your right, with this play-in tournament format, how valuable is this rest now versus a little bit more practice? And you could have been playing Friday. How would you kind of summarize winning and getting the rest?
That was our main focus, getting the win. Even when we were down, I think 15 or 17, something like that, we just kept saying, we got to get a rest. We can't play. I thought it was Thursday, though, or Friday, whatever day it is. We didn't want to play whatever day it was. We wanted to get this rest, let our bodies heal, recover. I mean, we've been going at it, playoff mode, since All-Star break, trying to get in. So it's good to have 4 days to kind of just recover and let our bodies heal, get some mental prep in on Memphis, and go in kind of fresh, on Sunday and have a battle then, playing every other day. And then, with the play-in, then if, we would have lost playing again and then going right into a matchup, would have been tough, especially with all the bumps and bruises our guys have. So it feels good to get this win and get a couple of days rest before we head to Memphis.
AD, I think it's one thing from the outside looking in to see what Dennis brings to this squad, but you're with him every single day. Obviously, the edge he started the season with. How would you kind of quantify his value to the squad?
He's invaluable, man. He brings everything every night. He wants to win. When he first came back, he said that he didn't like his first tenure here. With the Lakers, he feel like he didn't do what he was supposed to, so he wanted to come back and just be all about winning. And he's shown it. Diving on the floor, big hustle plays, obviously big shots like he had tonight. Big plays, defensively, offensively. He does it all for us. He brings that energy off the bench, pushing the pace, always communicating with us about what he sees on the floor, always bringing that positive energy. So, he means a lot to our team.
AD, on the whiteboard in the locker room, you guys had 2-10 and then 0.3% chance to make it to the postseason. Still written up there today as you guys are playing your way in. Are you guys still holding on to that and piece of that identity? Is it a motivating factor for you? LeBron mentioned it as well. What are the kind of conversations about that journey and how it's pushing you now?
Yeah, we talked about it. When do we play? Sunday, just how crazy it is to start 2-10 and be fighting for a playoff spot, pre-playing game, and then now go in and play the playing game and then get in as a 7th seed is unreal. We definitely feel like we deserve it, like we just supposed to be here. We work too hard and put in the work to get in this position, but yeah, I mean, that's where we started, 2-10, and the analytic guys in the media upstairs, in our front office, everything saying that we had a 0.03% chance of, getting into the playoffs, and that obviously we defeated those odds, but we don't want to stop here just getting in. Obviously you got small victories, seeing where we started, but now we want to get greedy and make some noise in these playoffs.
Last two, we'll go Nikki K and then we'll hear from North.
Kind of writing off that, AD, Ron talked about how this group was still pretty young together collectively since the trade deadline, and the past couple of weeks have felt like every game was a playoff game. How does a win like tonight further solidify your chemistry, and what does it add to it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is our resiliency. Fighting, being down in certain games and just taking it one possession at a time. Guys not getting frustrated, guys not arguing with each other, getting flustered. Staying on that positive energy and manifesting like we're winning. We're going to win these games. And everybody plays that way. Being in the moment, next play mentalities, and it's fun. We got to have fun with it. Guys are having fun, enjoying the moment, and it's showing on the court. So, Obviously all that plays into chemistry, but not having as much practice time as we would like, just because it's been full steam ahead since All-Star. We finding ways to win basketball games, and now we kind of get 4 days off and get a chance to practice and really lock in and prep. It could be even scarier.
Hey, how do you describe what LeBron's leadership style has been this season through the ups and downs with the group, and how does that compare to previous seasons?
It's kind of been the same. Obviously, around playoff time, it's more defined. But I think it really showed when he wasn't playing. A lot of guys were able to, especially when the trades happened, a lot of guys came in and was uncertain of a lot of things or just didn't know, how we kind of run things over here and what we did as far as our schemes and things like that. And he was able to see our team from a different perspective, obviously, with all his tweets and everything like that. And kind of guys can lean on him when he's not playing and he see the game differently and kind of help them through that process and that transition, which kind of, I think, kind of hurted us over the no practice and things like that. So his leadership has been great for us. Obviously, he's a great leader, and a lot of guys can lean on him for advice, and especially around this time. He's been playoffs, finals. It's been unreal. So then add another guy like Tristan, who's been in it, has been helpful for me already. Just this game in general. He's just constantly talking to us and talking to the guys. So, Bron's leadership is insane, man. He wants it. He wants it bad. He wants to win, and it kind of just rubs off on all of us.